Welcome back to a very special edition of The Lab. We are here in Old Town, Stockholm, Sweden, and this week's episode is brought to you by Baby Bjorn.
Now, we spend a lot of our time here in Stockholm listening to folks talk to us about their paternity leave system. In this episode, we give our collective responses to this interesting policy. We're here in Stockholm, Sweden, at the home of a father who's currently on paternity leave. We've been here in Sweden talking all about father issues, particularly about paternity leave and all the support that the Swedish system offers. There have been several members of the media that have joined us on this trip. I'm here with Rob Kemp, who's a freelance journalist and also on assignment from Father's Quarterly, and also Tom Beardshaw, who's the publisher of the website dad.info, and you know that other guy over there, Daddy Brad. Just off the top, what have been your impressions?
Excellent.
I was blown away.
They've made a very serious attempt here to make it possible for guys to stay at home with their kids.
Did you feel at all sort of jealous or wistful as you see what these guys get?
Who wouldn't like to have 6 months paid time off to look after the kids?
You know, what struck me is that, you know, in the UK and also in the US, there are men that do this, but they do so as a conscious decision and at great sacrifice.
We've been asking these guys, you know, how on earth did you come about doing this? And they kind of look at us blankly and they, why are you asking such weird questions? Everyone does it here.
What have you learned about what must be happening on the other end for these guys to feel so safe to go do this and take this time off?
They've obviously realised it works for them. The employers wouldn't be doing this unless letting guys have 6 months off work paid fully or thereabouts. They wouldn't do that unless they knew not only does it work for the individual employee and his family and his home life, they get a better products come back to them after paternity leave. I think society in general, they realise that the dad's role is so crucial.
But even if there was a system in place that allowed you to take the leave, I mean, is there sort of a culture of competitiveness that would lead, if you did take the time off, you know that guy in the next office is going to be after your title.
If there's any threat to your career, you're going to run away from it because families depend on men's income. You know, men tend to earn more than women, and so family stability tends to depend more on what the guy is earning.
Can we take any of this back and export it from Sweden to the US, the UK? What are the obstacles that this kind of program faces in our home countries?
I think in an ideal world, it would be a government thing that was done, but I don't think there's that kind of forward thinking because the results won't be seen for 20 or 30 years possibly for society and the economy. So I think to begin with, you would have to maybe implement it at private sector firms. I know what you're going to say, which company in its right mind would take that up.
It's going to take a private sector buy-in from large companies that can afford it, but it's also going to take some incentive for the government to say, okay, we're going to at least level this playing field a little bit, because things are so cutthroat in business these days. You know, giving your competitor a leg up initially is going to be hard to do. Ultimately, it's going to come down to you're getting the best talent. You're doing, you know, you're a progressive thinking company.
The companies in the UK like BT, Lloyds TSB are realising that if they want to attract the best, then they need to offer flexibility for the guys as well, because the demand on those guys to be involved at home is more than it is for a generation back. If guys start accepting jobs with the companies that offer the best package, if people start demanding that, if men start saying, this is part of what I want from you as an employer, that will start to put the pressure on the employers.
It's something that's going to take a cultural impetus, that's going to take a political movement, it's going to take the private sector doing its part. And so I guess, you know, one of the things that we need to do is, you know, guys, keep asking for it. And maybe, you know, maybe our kids, having seen dads that are at least somewhat more involved, and we know that the guys are being more involved, you know, maybe their generation will be the generation that will go and demand this of their government and go demand this of their place of work and say, look, this is of crucial importance. It's more important to who I am than anything else.
There's nothing more valuable than the relationship with your child.
No one ever said on their deathbed, oh, I wish I spent more time at the office.
Well, that's all for us here in the lab.
If you've got some thoughts about the paternity leave system, please drop us a comment, start a discussion on our community, and let us know what your thoughts are. Thanks for joining us here in Stockholm.
Talk
tack. That means thank you.
Thank you.
In Swedish. That's
Tuffa killar.
that's all of his. That's all of our Swedish.
Yeah. Franken Gransen.
Trevlig bil.
Flea, what? No.